To begin the address today, I want to again accept thanks for your patience during the first few weeks. I know they were difficult few weeks. We have a lot of students, a lot of issues related to parking. And we have some of our students that are staying at the Marian North or UIW North. I think there's approximately between 70 and 80 students there, but not a bad deal. They get to have breakfast in the morning. If they're old enough, they have happy hour in the afternoon. They have maid service and a swimming pool. So, I mean, I wish I had that when I was in college. Okay. Because we have the surprise that for the third consecutive year, we were named one of the great colleges to work for by the Chronicle of Higher Education. We're very pleased about that. We do want our team members here to be very happy about their work environment. We also made the national top 10 honor roll in the medium-sized category for the second year consecutively. And TCU was the only other school from Texas to make the top 10 in this category. And again, we're very pleased about that. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. And that was said by Eleanor Roosevelt. And we do a lot of dreaming here. And the good news is that our dreams do come true. Highlights from this past year, 2010-11. Enrollment surpassed 7,700. We received the largest gift in our history from the Rosenberg family. We also were selected as one of the best regional universities in the West by U.S. News and World Report. UIW was ranked 1 nationally among faith-based universities in the awarding of bachelor's degrees to Hispanics. I think that's really noteworthy. UIW was ranked number 2 nationally among all private universities. The University of Miami was the only school that graduated more Hispanic students. These are key distinctions given our student demographics and the low number of college-enrolled Hispanics nationally, well below other ethnic groups, even as Hispanics are the largest minority group in the United States today. We had the expansion of Benson Stadium. We had the renovation of the Ida Fey School of Nursing. And for the third consecutive year, UIW was selected as a military-friendly school by the GI Jobs. UIW placed the highest number of student athletes, 123, on the Lone Star Conference Commissioner's Honor Roll for 2010-11. A minimum grade point of 3.3 was required. That ranked us number 1 in the Lone Star Conference academically. Financial assistance, due to the state and federal cuts in student aid, UIW had to cover a $2 million shortfall in funding assistance. Experiencing the cuts, especially in the TEG, was a humbling experience, and the only certainty going forward is that the future cuts appear inevitable. Again, that represented a 20% statewide cut. We made up the difference with UIW funds so as not to have an impact on our incoming or continuing classes. Now, let's look at Futuring, which is a committee of the UPC. The Futuring Committee began its work last fall. The UPC retreat in August showed that Futuring is an extension of our strategic planning. The Futuring Committee will present a report to UPC retreat in January, and then we'll also present it to the community. Enrollment. This year, our enrollment is now at 8,455 students. That's almost a 10% increase over last year. I think our people deserve a really loud round of applause for the very good work that has been accomplished. And again, this is a growth from 1985 of 551%. This breaks it down further, so you see the various categories: first time in college, transfer, total undergraduate, graduate and professional, and then total enrollment numbers. So you can see the various categories and what the annual growth has been. We can be very proud about the fact that the first time in college had an 18.5% increase. This is our diversity numbers. You can look through them there. About 0.5% for American Indian, about 4% for Asian, African American, about 7%, Hispanic, about 53%, Hawaiian, about 0.14%, 2 or more races, about 0.5%, white, 22%. And then from an all-time high, we have students here now from 67 different countries, representing about 14% of the overall population. I often joke about you can walk across campus and you could hear every language being spoken, even English on occasion. this is very, very, very important numbers, okay? It's, you know, Andrea and company have been doing a great job of bringing them in the door, and our focus has been, we want them to graduate with a UIW degree. That's what we want. We push it, we talk about it. Sandy McMakin and company have done a phenomenal job, and now, thanks to Robin and her people putting the numbers together, we have very clean, very important numbers. But let's look at the job that's been done. 2008, we retained 63%. 2009, 67%. 2010, 75%. 2011, close to 78%. For a commuter minority university, that is phenomenal. And then, an equally important number that's finally starting to move is our persistence rates towards graduation, now almost at 65%. Very important stuff, very important stuff. And again, I can't stress how grateful the university is for the hard work that everyone is doing to keep our students focused. Late yesterday, we received the 2 largest competitive grants in our history, $5.9 million for the fields of STEM fields in retention and graduation, $3.06 million for retention itself. Let's congratulate those individuals on that who led the work. Also, we have a young man who, as I call it, stays in his hole all day long doing nothing but writing. Armando, are you here? Let's give Armando a round of applause. He's done a great job. Great writer. We are capping enrollment for the first time in our history at 1,250 for this coming fall. Andrew's smiling. That's a combination of new freshmen and transfer. That's what we want to stay at now as we move down the road, okay? And we're very pleased with the job that we've been doing. We're providing great access. We have great young people coming, and we want to make sure we have space for them. We'll continue to working towards achieving an average SAT of 1,000. We're right very close to it, about 975, 980, 975. So we're very close. In order to maximize classroom space due to the increased numbers of students, we are developing new course scheduling to spread classes across a 6-day week. We're also investigating a different pricing model that can be more agile. This is something that's just in its beginning stages, but we're going to just look at our everywhere and how we are doing our pricing. We're going to engage in cross-training that will allow personnel in the traditional programs to gain online proficiencies. More work between extended academic programs and the main campus folks. State of the university, and you'll hear me use the term branding, and you'll hear me use that term over and over again, and this is what I mean by it. There are 5 well-established brands in Texas. They are private: SMU, TCU, and Baylor, A&M, and Texas Longhorns. You will see in the next 10 years the Cardinals in that branding mix. Very important. Why? We're branding the university so that when our students graduate, that university, UIW, is known statewide, nationally, and internationally. The only reason you know of schools like Georgetown or Notre Dame, and I can go down a laundry list, is because of their athletic programs that help develop their brand on an international basis. We're doing the same for our students. The difference between us and those schools you see there is that's old Texas, and we're the Texas of today and tomorrow. Just look around this room and you'll see what I mean by that. The goal is to expand the UIW brand and the Cardinal brand. I was joking the other day on TV and then on radio. You know, we have the running road runners, but we also have the fighting Cardinals that are willing to play them anytime, any place. We're going to hold a referendum on Division I status among the students before Thanksgiving. Once we get the result of that, we're going to talk about an increase in fee of about $150 in order to move from Division II to Division I. Our brand is national, our brand is statewide, but our focus always stays on one area of the country, which is called South Texas, okay? That's our focus. We want to develop the brain power of South Texas. That's the mission of the congregation, that's the mission of the university, South Texas, Northern Mexico. I kid with Andrea all the time. I see the statistics. I could care less if she has a student from New Orleans here or from Arizona. If they're alumni, family, fine. I am interested in our international students and our local students. Right, Andrea? All the time. This presents us with a challenge due to the low high school completion rate of approximately 65%. It leaves us a smaller pool, but as long as the brand is strong, this fall, on September the 6th, Andrea was smiling. She had 1,006 freshmen. On September the 7th, after the census report, she had 998. But we're very pleased that we were able to bring, in this marketplace, 1,000 new full-time day freshmen. That's a phenomenal feat. And the reason for that was because the university and its administration took the risk in January and February to get Amy to get her financial aid on the street, even when we didn't know what was going to happen with state funding and Pell funding. We took that risk, we were out front, and that's why we were successful. So again, congratulations. Hispanics now comprise 38% of the state's population. Texas, especially South Texas, will be an attractive recruiting market for schools from all over the country who are trying to recruit Hispanics into their universities. We're going to continue to strengthen our honors program. It's been very successful. We're looking forward to the 2015 honor classes. Again, the honors program was built step by step under the leadership of Dr. Doyle and the faculty. Facilities, conservation, and expansion. Next year, I was going to start the construction this fall, but because of the space crunch, all we needed was more construction cars on campus, and we would really have a problem. So I'm delaying it till the spring semester, but we will be building the ecumenical chapel by the Angel of Hope. That's what it will look like. Sister Martha Ann has been involved, along with others, making sure that it is very representative of the national, international major religious groups. Again, it's a small place for about 8 to 10 students to be able to go in and pray and meditate and be at peace with themselves and with their God. Next year, we'll also begin construction in the spring on the new area for the kilns that will be in the athletic complex, and it represents about a $500,000 investment on the part of the university so that we can get our sculpture program back up to the expertise that we like it to be. The new fine arts complex will be completed in the next 24 months. Construction on this facility will start right after that. I don't know the exact time frame for when we're going to start the brick and mortar work on the new music hall, but that will happen sometime before January of next year. The time frame, again, we have to do it with the knowledge that we have construction going on that can disrupt the normal traffic flow and so forth, so on and so on, which is right in the middle of the campus. That's what the Fine Arts Complex will look like when it's completed. That piece of multicolor is the area where a new artwork will be done. That hasn't been finalized. Sister Catalina is working on that with a number of artists. But that will be a symbolic art to represent the incarnate word and the importance of that corner. In November, we'll begin developing the property that we acquired at Tetzel Road. Tetzel Road off of Bandera is about 2 miles from SeaWorld, to get a picture of where that Northwest Center is. We got a large contribution of a new building there, or an old building there, an old Albertsons building that we are developing into a 78,000 square foot facility. That will hold our new School of Physical Therapy, along with the ADCAP program in that location. Basically, if you look at some of the demographics that Robin has run, you can tell the area from the city that we get the least amount of UIW students is the Northwest sector. And again, it's because we don't have a presence in that area. We are also investigating whether this location can be used for classes for students and faculty who happen to live in that area as well. The 4th floor of the administration building will be turned into offices and classroom space over a 3-year period. Don't clap, Bobby. Over a 3-year period. We'll do it in phases. We'll wind up with approximately 15 classrooms there and 20? How many offices, Dr. Doyle? I forget. Was it 20? Something like 15 classrooms and 20 offices we'll wind up with there. The offices will be able to hold more than just one faculty. Some of them are quite large. But we will phase that in. Sustainability continues to move forward. We made presentations this year on this to UPC, to the congregation, to the Futuring Committee, and to the Board of Trustees, talking about how we sustain our campus on an ongoing basis. We are moving ahead with the East Side Clinic. Leading the efforts there is now Dr. Andrew Brazelli, our new acting dean of the School of Optometry. It'll be known as the University of the Incarnate Word East Side Center for Visual Science and Health Care. We'll have 3 floors. The bottom 2 will house the eye clinic. The 3rd will be an ADCAP and professional studies site. The clinic will focus not only on attacking the pathology of vision, but it'll also give you a first look at the functions of vision. The illiteracy rate on the east side is a whopping 17%, if you can believe that. And again, one of the major causes for dropouts in the middle school is because of the lack of true eye care. So it's very important. This building is being funded by a combination of sources that are being both in the public and private sector, with new market tax credits, as well as part of the bond fund that will be floated by the city in May. We're hopeful will contain in it about $5 million for this facility. This facility is going to cost around $11 million. We will break ground on it as soon as the bond fund is over, the vote is over, so that we can attack those funds at that time. So you're looking at an opening date for this, not in the fall of 12, but in the fall of 13. As some of you know, I've just come back from a trip in Heidelberg. This is my 2nd trip to Heidelberg. Heidelberg is a beautiful city in about an hour south of Frankfurt. The population there is about 140,000. But of that 140,000, about 50,000 of them are college students. It's like Austin from that standpoint. It's a very old city. It's over 700 years old. We have signed an agreement with a foundation there that owns universities and high schools and hospitals called SRH, and they will be our partner university there. We also have signed, or in the process of doing a joint venture agreement with a German partner, Luli, who has worked with the university over the years, at this beautiful castle that we're going to renovate. And that will be not a campus like Mexico or China, but a study abroad center where we'll send groups to study there and to also take some classes at the German university in English to get a German immersion, as well as a continuation of the UIW immersion in Heidelberg. So it's a very interesting development for us. Again, academics is our focus. The focus is on a degree of difference. You've seen some of the commercials that are running. That's the real focus. It's also the real focus here on campus. Keep the student persisting, get them to graduation, get them that job so they have a bright and talented future. Blended learning, one of the questions we have to figure out is how and how much face-to-face contact should be included. Dr. Doyle is setting up a team that will look at some blended options that we can further develop down in the future. A lot of this has come from our Futuring Committee as well. We're developing a College of Health Sciences. Now, this will be developed over a 5-year period. The college will include the schools of optometry, pharmacy, physical therapy, nursing, and health professions. It also will include other programs such as medical tourism and the MHA, the Masters in Health Administration degree. Begin June 1st, 2012, all academic issues of the Division of Extended Academic Programs will also flow through the provost. This will allow us to bridge the gulf between the traditional and non-traditional programs that keep us all on the same focus and on the same track. We have identified disasters that have the highest probability of striking San Antonio so we can determine how to operate under those conditions. Short or long-term disruptions to the power grid, cyber terrorism, pandemics, dirty bombs. We are making sure that we're ready to react, and not in a proactive way, not in a reactive way in these areas. Succession planning. Sister Helena Monahan will retire as Chancellor at the end of this year. Sister Helena has worked at UIW in various capacities since 1972, Chancellor, Executive Vice President, Legal Counsel, Vice President for Student and Academic Affairs, Associate Professor of English. She's also been on the U.S. Province Coordinator and the Coordinator of the Congregation. Dr. Doyle, who's been our Provost since 2000, will end in that position in 2012. She will enter a phased retirement and will become chancellor for the next 3 years. As chancellor, Dr. Doyle will work at the School of Optometry on curriculum and faculty issues. She'll also represent the president locally and nationally where appropriate. Because the role of chancellor has changed over the years, it will be positioned limited in scope to the specific needs of UIW and the president. The chancellor will have no direct reports and will no longer participate in UPC or executive council. Dr. Doyle is very pleased to be entering into this new role in a year. We're considering conducting a national search for the provost position, but I quickly realized that an internal candidate was in place with the leadership skills and commitment to UIW that we needed. This is very important. That we could have went through a lot of expense and a lot of money, but I already knew the person that I would recommend to the board to be the new provost, and that will be Dr. Kathy Light, who's been Dean of the School of Nursing and Health Professions. Dr. Doyle and I convinced Dr. Light, or conned Dr. Light into accepting this new responsibility. She will do it for a 5-year period, okay? Lord willing, and everything is fine. So we welcome Dr. Light. She's not here today. She's leading a healthcare group on a tour of the city, so that's why she's not here. Dr. Glenn James will become her associate provost and really take over a lot of the responsibility that Sister Helena had as chancellor in relationship to all of the different accrediting bodies. Dr. Doyle has established committees to do the various searches that we need for 3 dean's positions that will become available. First, of the College of Humanities, Arts, and Social Sciences, the chair will be Dr. Cheryl Anderson, the co-chair will be Sister Eilish Ryan, and those individuals will serve on the committee for that search. I believe Dr. Doyle told me that in October, those searches will begin. School of Nursing and Health Professions, Glenn Germs will chair that. Dr. Holly Castles and Dr. Mary Elaine Jones will be co-chairs, and those are the individuals that will work on that search. And then finally, the School of Math, Science, and Engineering, Dr. Sean Daly will lead that search. Dr. Julia Davis will co-chair, and then those are the individuals that will help with that search. We're hopeful to get those positions in place no later than June the 1st. If you're wondering about Bob Connolly will go into a retirement phase as well, but will work on assessment with Dr. Glenn James over the next few years. We, last year, had put in the budget initially for 6 new positions for the university. Then, in January, we had to hold them because of the TEG and Pell Grant problems. And so we were only able to fill 1 of those 6 with a visiting professor. We now have established, and Lord willing, as long as nothing changes between now and January or February, we have established 10 lines for new faculty positions coming into existing programs. Those 10 lines are physics, chemistry, biology, religious studies, English, professional writing, athletic training, nursing, doctoral position, PhD faculty in higher ed, business management, and business finance. Those positions were determined in consultation between Dr. Doyle and the deans. Closing thoughts, who are we trying to serve? We are serving exactly the student population that the mission has directed us to serve. You all can be very proud about that and should be very focused on that. When we graduate our students, pharmacy, the last 2 years, except for 1 that I'm not sure of, all have passed their national boards. David? Yeah, all have passed their national boards. That's phenomenal. School of Ed. Dreven School of Education is in the 95+ percentile for passing national boards. School of Nursing, same. School of Optometry, we won't know that for 2 years, but I'll kill Brazelli if we're not 100% in optometry. But the importance is we're doing it with our kind of student, okay? That's what we can be very proud about. That's what makes me sleep at night. Today's 2nd graders will be the freshmen of 2021. Can you imagine? Today's 2nd graders will be the freshmen of 2021. That's why Andrea left. How are we going to deliver their education? How are we going to price ourselves? Will the future take into account socioeconomic differences? These are all questions that the Futuring Committee is looking at as we look down the road. Why have we been so successful? We've planned for it. That's important. We've planned for it. We are what we said we were going to be. And we will be the brand by 2020. Make no mistake. I can see it, you can see it. Get it in your focus. That's what we are building here. Future equals mobility and flexibility anchored by quality and service. Simple. Mobility and flexibility. We have always been very flexible. I compare us to a PT boat. That's what we are. So we can move where we need to move. Anchored by a commitment to quality and service. With that, that gives you the overall state of the union, so to say. We have no employment issues here at Incarnate Word. Today I was at a new person's, new team member orientation to start my day with. And I walked in the room and I looked around and I said, we hired all these people? But our retention rate is less than 4%. I mean, our attrition rate is less than 4%. That's good stuff. Yeah? That's good stuff. We continue to grow. We continue to add positions. And we continue to serve the population that we have determined to serve. That's the good news. We had a great year last year. End of the year results were very good. We've had a good start to the year this year. We're about $3 million over in the financial aid budget, but other than that problem, everything looks very good. And we're meeting our goals and objectives. I would love at this point, we have a mic that will move around, to answer any questions that you had on this presentation or things that you heard that you'd like to verify. And again, I'm open to take any question. If I don't like the question, you'll get your last check. So who's going to be first? Yes, where are you? Stand up, please. Talk into that mic.
It's been about 6 years since we've heard the term cost of living raise. Is there anything like that in the future?
Yes, every year. So yes, there'll be a cost of living raise this year determined by what the cost of living is going to be. And there'll also be on top of that probably other increases based on where you lie in the overall picture as to that position would cost somewhere else. We try to do that every year. There's never been a year, in my history at least, that we have not given raises. So yes, sir.
No, we have not always given we haven't given cost of living raises to faculty. We've given merit raises.
Merit raises. Okay. Yes, sir.
So what time frame were you thinking about having our students go to Heidelberg for that?
We are going, right now, we're signing the contract to begin the renovation. We're investing 125 euros, 125,000 euros. Our partner's investing the same amount. That construction will take place over the spring. We want to start sending our students there come the summer. 3 weeks, 5 weeks, 8 weeks, you determine. We're going to have a competition among the faculty with prizes to develop plans for how we're going to implement. We're also going to invite our sister universities from around the globe to send their students to this site as well, so we can get an intercultural mix there of students. We can house, in our own facility, there are about 50 students. We're going to have 2 faculty apartments, but SRH University, located 20 minutes away by cable car, has housing and available, and a cafeteria where you eat 3 meals a day as a student for €1. So it's very good. There are so many good things happening because of you and because of positive momentum. I told you about the Tetzel Road property. Let me tell you the story of how we got that property. A developer here in San Antonio was developing this strip center. He had a partner who's a Jewish family out of Los Angeles. His wife is an alum. Their names are Hoover, correct? Mike Hoover. His wife's an alum of the School of Nursing. Mike says to his wife, I wonder if he would be interested in donating that Albertsons building that we can't sell. So he contacts this individual, and they talk about it. They run the numbers, and he says, there was a Jewish family in San Antonio that gave a major gift to a university. What was that university? Mike said, University of the Incarnate Word. That's where I want to donate the building, see if they're interested. That's how we got this building. It's a $4 million building, okay? Everything deals with what? Momentum, okay? And having the wheels on the road. And the good news is, your university has the wheels on the road, and we're going to continue to grow, prosper, so that you can help us reach more and more students with the word of the Incarnate Word. I close with this. Again, I tell the students at orientation, I tell them every time I get a chance to speak, you're here at a faith-based university, a very proud Catholic university. And we're here so that you will develop academically, but also you will develop in your faith. We hope that happens with you as our team members here, and we know that it's happening with our students. On Friday of last week, Dr. Brazzelli and the School of Optometry had a very beautiful celebration for the ending of Ramadan and what they call the celebration of Eid. And the student association there put on this luncheon. They did a wonderful job, but you could really see the spirit of the Incarnate Word at work there through the Muslim Association. I mean, that's beautiful. That's what we're all about. Think about this. At graduation, 2013, the first students will graduate from optometry. Some of the students there, they're graduating from a Catholic university for the Rosenberg School, and they're Muslim students. That's what we're all about. That's wonderful. Have a great day. Thank you very much.